You know, some people out there, when they talk, they fake the funk. You want brutally honest? Well, if you want brutally honest, look no further than CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
If you want your sports talk to be brutally honest, come check out CG.
CG Ruthless.
If you're not watching CG Ruthless, I don't know what to tell you. Representing the Niner Empire.
CG Ruthless.
Yo, this is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest, and nothing but be brutally honest. Coming at you with a live stream. So, the 49ers news update. So, Richie James, unfortunately, will miss 6 weeks. The chances of him making the roster would seem a lot slimmer now because he hasn't stood out in training camp. He hasn't stood out in the preseason. His one-game wonder against the Packers was giving me some optimistic hopes about it. But at the end of the day, it was not meant to be for Richie James. I mean, I'd be surprised if we still keep him on our roster. Do we even put him on IR, designated to return list, in case if injuries were to happen? That's the only question mark I might be concerned about. Like, for the fact that Richie James got injured, he had to get injured at a right time to where he can get an injury settlement or possibly be on the IR list to return or something like that. So I think for some reason, Richie James has been one lucky guy. Like, there's been times where we could have cut him the previous years, and he just tends to make the roster for some reason. But let's get on to the topic. Jalen Hurd, I'm not trying to bash the guy, but come on, dude. The guy hasn't stayed healthy. The guy hasn't proven nothing. I mean, I'd rather have somebody on the field than have somebody on the sidelines, but I've seen what I've seen from Jalen Hurd. Just can't stay healthy, man. I seen the product when he played against the Cowboys, but that product just broken down. It broken down. What I like out of Trent Sherfield, that's a great product to buy into. A guy like Juwan Jennings, that's a great product to buy into. But if you're going to make me buy into something broken, like that's me buying a broken action figure. Why would I want to buy a broken action figure? That's not a good advertising for me to buy. But that's the way I would feel about Jalen Hurd. Like if I wanted to buy a collection, like, you know, one of those collectibles, and they breaking down or fragile type of action figures. It's not something I want to buy into because it's probably a broken, fragile toy. That's the way we look at Jalen Hurd. But looking at the other side of the news, we brought back that tackle. What's his name? Corbin. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he's like an offensive lineman from BYU. We brought him back. As far as the other news, I think that safety we cut from, BYU. We cut him. And then we cut a couple of different players on our roster. So we got this game that would matter. So this is probably going to be the last chance we'll probably see what Jalen Hurd can bring. Because honestly, if Jalen Hurd can put up a decent performance against the Raiders, if he can get at least one touchdown, 2 big plays, then maybe I'll get off his case. But you know what? I got to go on to him because that's the one guy that hasn't panned out for us. And I'd rather have somebody who's reliable on the field, if you know what I mean. So as far as I'm concerned, man, there's just no positive out of Jalen Hurd. Like when you were watching his practice film or whatever he was doing in practice, there were some drills he did okay on, and then there were some drills where he kind of just did half work or something. That to me is just kind of showing a sign of him not wanting to be here. He doesn't seem motivated. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of you guys may question it, but I just don't know, man. Jalen Hurd, it's like, are you going to hold on to this guy again for the third time? I mean, let's hope for the best, but it's just, I don't see it working out with Jalen Hurd. Personally, I don't. I just don't. The guy had potential. The guy converted from wide receiver. I mean, he converted out of running back to play receiver, and those type of skill sets are rare to do because yards after the catch is something that most of what Shanahan liked about Jalen Hurd, but it hasn't quite panned out. It's like one of those broken things, you know. You don't know what you're getting out of the product until it's broken. Completely, yeah. So in any topic news, I'm on one step away from being monetized, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. So it'll probably take a couple days, and we'll find out by the review whether I get it or not. But in the bright side, it's kind of been positive. I ain't gonna complain about it. But I don't see anybody else coming on to watch, so I guess it's whatever. Guess I'll just send links to everybody else, see if they want to come on in or not. It's going to be like a 4 or 5 hour stream unless somebody doesn't show up today. I'm just going to put on a stream. What the heck, man? Sure. Other guys. Let's see, Eddie, other people, Adam. Let's get the Rolls Royce in the house. Let's get Niner Sickness. Let's get other people in. Let's get more people on the stream, man. So all that matters is here is just wait and see how it plays out. But according to what I'm hearing, man, it's just not looking good for certain key players, you know. There's just a roster bubble for another player who may not even make the team, but so what's the situation, man? So are we using those short-term IR players like Kendricks? Like, is Michael Kendricks even going to make the team as a reserve guy where he comes off the injury list, off the IR, and then we can remove him off the list and then put him on the roster? I'm not sure what the plan is with Michael Kendricks because the guy's injured. But if we're not going to cut him, then I guess they're going to put him on IR for the short-term list, and then maybe bring him back into maybe by week 4 or 5 we'll get him. And maybe that's a good way to get some depth coming out the way. You know how they say reinforcements on the way. You get somebody like Kendricks coming off IR. Maurice Hurst, he should be good in 3 weeks at least. He only had a sprained ankle, so he should be out for 3 weeks. But there's no concerns about him being out too long. Yes. All right. So what's on everybody's mind, man? Matter of fact, I'll put the other theme song again just because I'm waiting for more people to come. It's just one person watching the stream, and I'm all by myself. So, no, hell with it. I'll just put this theme song.
You know, some people out there, when they talk, they fake the funk. You want brutally honest? Well, if you are brutally honest, look no further than CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
If you want your sports talks to be brutally honest, come check out CG.
CG Ruthless.
If you're not watching CG Ruthless, I don't know what to tell you. Representing the Niner Empire.
CG Ruthless.
Guess anybody ain't coming to the stream, so I guess not today, I guess. But maybe tomorrow we could do the stream because I don't see anybody else coming right now. So because usually around this time they would either come around this time. Usually you get 8 or 10 people watching, but not today. I guess it's been pretty quiet. I guess. No comment, so I guess everybody's on the other stream. So I'll probably just end the stream. Maybe I'll do one later. But on the meantime, I'll catch y'all later. There's just nobody there. So usually around 10 minutes of my time, that's about it. So no comments, no coming into the stream. So maybe I'll schedule it in like maybe an hour or two until we get more people in. So see y'all later.